Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A vehicle was driven off Banzai Cliff and no occupants have been located. Also tonight, the House passed a bill that will generate more income for the island. And claims of fraud are pursuing against a CNMI travel company. In sports, the crank goes down in UFC 162 Singapore. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
"48 hours. That's all we get in a week. But those 48 hours, we try to make them last forever. How? By filling in fast with all the right stuff. With a lot of laughter, a little drama, some adventure, and a whole lot of love."
Dad, Mom's here.
It happens pretty quick,
Bye, Dad.
but it's cool. Because the rest of the week, we talk about our plans
You want to go to the beach?
on how to make the next 48 hours last us a lifetime.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They're an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle.
Hafa Day, Tirwami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Monday, October 28th, 2019. A vehicle was found at the bottom of the ocean, but the person was not, as a vehicle was driven off Banzai Cliff over the weekend. And I was at the scene about 30 minutes ago, where the search continues. Take a look. As you can see, the search team is still in the water and this road is blocked off. As the Department of Public Safety says, around 5:50 p.m. Saturday, an eyewitness reported they saw a white, dark-tinted SUV drive off this cliff into the water.
Over there.
When officers arrived at Banzai Cliff, they noticed one of the World War II monuments was damaged. Some car parts were around the cliff line, and there were articles of clothing and items floating in the water. Officials say the DPS rescue boat was dispatched to the scene, but was called off later in the day, Saturday, due to rough water. The search continued Sunday, where 2 dives were conducted by DPS Impact, with efforts from DFIMS, DPS Zodiac 3, the U.S. Coast Guard, and the United States Navy. The vehicle was located, but no occupants were found inside. The search was called off at 5 p.m. Today, DPS conducted further searches up north and around Wing Beach. And as of news time, the victim has not been located. DPS states the case is ongoing and the next of kin notification is still pending. Stay with KSPN as we continue to bring you the latest updates on this case. On Capitol Hill, a bill is passed by the CNMI House of Representatives that will generate more revenue from tourism. Take a listen. House Bill 21-72 HS1 is passed by the CNMI House of Representatives today, with all 17 present voting yes. It's a revenue-generating bill that will protect and control the MARPI sites.
This bill would allow natural resources, parks and recreation, to be responsible to man the Marpy Park.
where a stand would be set up charging a fee to enter sites in Marpy, which include the Grotto, Banzai Cliff, Suicide Cliff, Japanese Command Post, Bird Island, and Calabar Cave. Benavente says the amount they would charge to enter Marpy is still being discussed.
I hope that will be, I'm hoping that it will come up, that it will come there. Per head, I'm hoping that it will be about $10 per head.
The fees will be used to upkeep these tourist sites in Marpy.
These fees will be used for to maintain the park, to upgrade the upkeep of the park, all the parks over there, upkeep, the security of the area within that given area, and not only that, to develop some sort of innovative type approach on development or any kind of development with regards to the park.
And Benavente says the entry fee will be for just tourists, not locals.
Basically, at this point in time, the Bureau, it's basically only for tourists now. Local, because there are some farms, so back there's some cattle runs and some farms and some people living back there and stuff like that. So they will be able to commute back and forth and no restriction.
The bill is now off to the Senate. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. In federal court, a trial date has been set for next October in the case of Chinming Science and Technology Company and Junji Wu against Black Bison Travel Corporation.
The plaintiffs are pursuing claims of fraud against the CNMI travel company, which was formerly called the Ji Lee Corporation. Colin Thompson is representing Junji Wu, a citizen of China.
The basic allegations are made by my client named Mr. Wu, who owns Chinming Science and Technology Corporation. That corporation was an investor in Ji Ling Corporation. Ji Lee Corporation later became Black Bison. So we're really talking about the same entity.
Junji Wu, or Mr. Wu, says in 2016 he decided through his company to invest in Ji Lee and thus became the primary shareholder. He says his company began paying employee salaries, purchasing vehicles, and making improvements to buildings. In June of 2017, Ji Lee Corporation accepted $200,000 and Mr. Wu was elected president and treasurer. This is Mr. Wu's signature on the annual corporation report filed in June of 2017. In August of 2017, Haiying Zhang was elected vice president of Ji Lee, and that's when the plaintiffs say Mr. Wu was pushed out of the corporation.
The point of the case is that Mr. Wu made his investment of $200,000 United States dollars to buy shares, majority shares in Ji Lee Corporation, and later through fraud and through forgery, his shares were taken from him by the current owner of Black Bison, a woman named Ms. Zhang, and he wasn't paid for his shares. He didn't authorize the transfer of his shares. It was done through a series of forged documents that are now on file at the corporate registrar's office.
In early 2018, a special meeting was held and the company resolved to change its name from Ji Lee Corporation to Black Bison Travel Corporation. The meeting minutes say the meeting was called by Mr. Wu. However, Mr. Wu says he never called the meeting and his signature on the meeting minutes was forged. Corporations are required to have annual meetings with shareholders or directors, and then that is put, they produce an annual report, which is then filed. You allege that some of these documents that were filed publicly have his name on them, but he says he didn't sign it.
That's right. That's exactly right. And that's how this company and Ms. Zhang were able to transfer the shares just by forging his name, signing them, submitting to the corporate registrar's office, and now, at least on paper, he is no longer an owner.
On April 11th, the company filed a new certificate of incorporation. On April 12th, another special board meeting was held. The new company, Black Bison, says Mr. Wu transferred his 200,000 shares and was paid $200,000. Mr. Wu says that didn't happen, and his signature was again forged. On April 12th, the company changed bank account names. Plaintiff also says a letter of resignation was forged. Let's take a look at some of the signatures. June 11th, 2017, the document, the annual corporation report. Here is June G. Woo's signature. Special meeting minutes, again, Mr. Woo's signature. August 25th, 2017, the first U now has a tail on it. April 11th, 2018, board resolution. Signature is now written Woo June G. Special meeting transferring shares 4/12/18, Woo June G. No tails on the U's now. Black Bison Travel, through attorney Bill Fitzgerald, has answered the complaint. They say that while they admit a transfer of shares document was executed, they deny Mr. Woo's signature was forged. So, if he is a citizen of China, will you look for travel records to show that maybe he wasn't here for a meeting? Can meetings be done? Can these sort of meetings be done electronically or over the phone or Skype, or how does that work?
It would depend on the corporation, but in this corporation, they could have taken action without a meeting by unanimous consent, but the papers that were filed with the corporate registrar's office show on the face of these records, which again my client claims are forged, that there were meetings, that Mr. Woo participated in those meetings here in Saipan, and that he signed off on the actions that were taken during those meetings. So he at times says he was not even on island at the time that these happened, yes.
And some of these signatures are notarized, which means a notary was there. Is that somebody who could be a potential witness that you would call?
Yes.
In the answer to the complaint, Fitzgerald says the plaintiffs were not legitimate shareholders of the corporation and have unclean hands. Calls to the company Black Bison were not answered today. Company website says they were formed in 2002 and offer excursions in other countries as well. However, most of the links on the site do not appear to be working today.
With Skymark launching direct flights to the CNMI on November the 29th, it means not just new business, but the return of business. For Chris Conception, former MVA managing director who participated in some of the earliest talks with Skymark, it was a big day.
I'm elated that they finally made the announcement. Yes, definitely. It was through our connections, our networking that we had in Japan. Some of the industry players that I knew personally got us to meeting with these Skymark officials, and then from there, it's been many, many months of back and forth convincing and negotiations, and having them, making sure that they come to fly here to Saipan.
Of course, I'm more very happy because we really need Japan carrier airlines to Saipan, and I think we can back Saipan to the boom again.
What do you think we need to do to make sure that the flight continues?
A lot. Japan is probably the most sophisticated market that we have here in the CNMI. They're very well traveled, and so I think one of the key things that we need to do here is improve our product. In terms of everything from hotels, dining options, shopping centers, taking care of the infrastructure, the basic infrastructure that's needed to support a tourism industry, a vibrant one, is really key, because these people are used to traveling to many different advanced destinations, and so we need to keep up with that. We also need to make sure that our marketing is solid, that the MVA continues the mission.
Coming up, the Bureau of Environmental Health has released the ratings for sanitary inspections, and one establishment got temporarily shut down. Find out which restaurant after the break.
Mom, are you sure? What about the shutters? And do you have your medicine?
Don't worry about us, love, okay? You take good care of yourself. I'm in love. Yeah, sorry. The power went out, so I had to light up all the candles. Yeah. Yes, baby, yeah. I'm just glad our home phone's working and we're able to contact you.
Watch the Visitors Channel online, on time, anytime at saipantv.com. Where to go, what to see, what to do. Restaurants, spas, activities, and culture. It's all in one place, in high definition, on your mobile device. saipantv.com. Check it out.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. The health advisory sent out by the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation to boil water is no longer in effect for Saipan. A precautionary health advisory was sent out to the islands of Saipan and Tinian to boil water before use after Typhoon Bualoi. CUC states that samples were collected and tested and non-pathogens were found, meaning boiling water is no longer necessary for Saipan. But Tinian's water system is scheduled to be tested today, and the boil water notice is still in effect for Tinian until further notice. For more information, follow CUC's Facebook page. The Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation Bureau of Environmental Health has released the sanitary inspection ratings for September 2019. Sanitary inspections are conducted on retail, eating, and drinking establishments. According to the report, 20 establishments received a grade A. 18 establishments received a grade B, and 2 establishments received a grade C, which are Southern Terrace Restaurant in Garapan and Ladder Beach Restaurant in Obion. One restaurant was closed for serious violations of health and sanitation standards. Pier Restaurant in Garapan was closed on September 3rd and reopened on September 6th. Food safety rating classifications are based on a score of 0 to 100. For a full copy of the report or for more information, visit chcc.gov.mp. On Guam, one congressman is making headlines nationwide. It is not being looked at as positive. KUAM reports.
Havade, here's your Guam news update. Congressman Michael Nicholas is now the subject of a House Ethics Committee investigation.
Congressman Michael Nicholas making headlines nationwide, but not in a good way. Major media outlets jumping on the story that our delegate is now the subject of a House Ethics Committee investigation. The Ethics Committee issued a statement confirming that it's launched that investigation into Congressman Michael Nicholas. The committee is aware of public allegations that Delegate Michael Nicholas may have engaged in a sexual relationship with an individual on his staff, converted campaign funds to personal use, and accepted improper or excessive campaign donations. That statement from the Ethics Committee Chair, Florida Congressman Ted Deutsch. House rules forbid sexual relationships between members of Congress and their staffers. The investigation follows a complaint filed at the Guam Election Commission by his former Chief of Staff, John Paul Manuel, alleging Nicholas used campaign funds for personal expenses related to his alleged affair with a woman he eventually hired as a high-ranking staffer. Manuel also alleged Nicholas received an illegal over-the-limit $10,000 donation from a prominent Korean businessman. He also said Nicholas would routinely reimburse himself for personal expenses with campaign funds. Manuel was Nicholas's chief of staff when he served as a senator in the Guam legislature. He was also the campaign chair for Nicholas's 2018 bid for Congress. Aside from the House Ethics Committee investigation, several websites that track Congress members' performance report that Nicholas has missed 53% of votes he's eligible for. Our delegate ranks 8th in missed votes out of 435 House members. And website Roll Call reports, overall, Nicholas has missed 138 of 259 votes this year. KUAM has repeatedly reached out to Congressman Nicholas throughout his term for comments on various issues. However, the congressman has continuously refused to respond to our inquiries. We did ask him to respond to allegations after his meeting with the governor 2 weeks ago at Adelup.
Can you respond to the allegations that JP Manuel has raised against you? Congressman? Can we get a comment on the allegations that JP Manuel has raised against you?
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Check out KUN.com for more.
All right, coming up, KSPN2 serves and slams sports soon, real soon, like we got next.
easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 2 Health Talk. I'm Dr. Tony Stearns of Marianas Medical Center. Sugar, sweet, comforting, energy-boosting sugar. A little indulgence here and there is okay, but the average person's diet is overflowing with sugar in the form of sweetened drinks, fruit juice, sweetened snacks, desserts, and other readily available sugars in the form of processed carbohydrates. How do we keep our intake in check? And how can we better handle an intense, I want that huge piece of chocolate cake craving when it strikes? Here are some suggestions. Know your triggers. Increasing your awareness of what provokes your wanting sugar is the first step towards control. Stabilize your blood sugar. Eat breakfast every day and eat healthy protein and fiber snacks throughout the day to keep your blood sugar from dropping too sharply. Avoid sweetened drinks such as soda, fruit juice, sports drinks, iced tea, coffee, and avoid anything with glucose, sucrose, fructose, or high fructose corn syrup listed as one or more of the first few ingredients on a label. Eat more complex carbohydrates. Replace simple sugary carbs with complex carbs that break down more slowly, such as whole grains and vegetables. You'll be more satisfied for a longer period of time. And choose fruit when you have the urge for something sweet. Fruit is sweet because it contains fructose, and it's healthy for you when you get it in the whole fruit. Try some dried fruit or frozen grapes or berries or peaches next time you feel the urge for sugar. Exercise. Exercise breaks down sugars in your body, plus it relieves stress, a common trigger for binge eating. Try sugar-free products. They can satisfy your taste buds without adding calories. Distract yourself by reading a book, calling a friend, or putting some energy into a favorite hobby. Practice portion control. Choose smaller portions and eat slowly. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dr. Tony Stearns of Marianas Medical Center. Please join me again next week and have a healthy week.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, win some, lose some. That's sports. It's called the agony and the ecstasy. It was all agony in Singapore Saturday night for Frank the Crank Camacho. He lost to Benil Dariush, an Iranian-American, on a rear naked chokehold just 2 minutes and 2 seconds into the first round. Fighting on the main card of UFC 162, Camacho was unable to do anything against Dariush, who got his 11th UFC win. He is world ranked and will climb. Camacho came in as a plus 155 underdog, hoping a win would propel him as a potential contender. However, Frank falls to 2-4 in the UFC, 2 of his fights remaining on his 4-fight contract. Adult indoor volleyball exploded Friday night in the Added Gym, showcasing the underutilized talent that we have here on island. Rally time.
Lots of swag to be won in this season ender. Near court, Black Panther in black versus the old Aces in their mix and match. Black Panther undefeated in the winner's bracket, meaning the old Aces needed to beat them twice on Friday night. First, they had to beat them once. Freddie Policeman, he was doing his best to do that. Hammer it down, Freddie. Oh, blast from the past. His block doesn't work that time. Set point for the Black Panther in this first game. A bad set gives the Black Panther the first set 24-16, 1 set away from the championship. Second set though, Policeman and the old Aces come back. There's a down the middle of the beach road hit. Jeff Rimmon, though, with the cutter for Black Panther. Freddie, stationed at the outpost, slam, bam. Jeff, the counterattack. Jeff to Jack Gabriel, over to Douglas Schmidt, off the block, it's good. Nikifas to Policeman. Oh, we're seeing some power volleyball, just like the old days. Jack to Freddie on the outside. He finds the middle open there. Jeff with a save, and the Old Aces recovered nicely with Freddie finding the middle again. Old Aces took the first game 2-1. They were feeling pretty good about themselves.
They're getting tired. Hey, and the hustle, man. We got that game because we wanted it more. We got to keep on. We got to keep pushing.
But Black Panther turned it around. Jericho Castro turns on the power display. Jump for joy. Black Panther, more evidence of their prowess. Black Panther, time and time again coming up with a big hit. Inside, outside, Black Panther displaying their full arsenal of firepower. They won the final game convincingly, 25-15, 25-14, to take home that title.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Let's roll at Gold's Gym Saipan with group exercise for every body. Total Resistant Exercise, or TRX, helps develop your core and improve strength. And Zumba toning is probably the funnest way to get fit. The Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplements. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Traveling or laying over on Guam? Don't wait around. Zip into Guam Adventures Zipline Park inside the Hilton Resort and Spa. Guides will take you through a series of zips, starting with a mountain course and then zip over the ocean with spectacular views of Tumon Bay. 6 zip lines in all deliver a thrilling experience, and it's family friendly, so bring the kids ages 6 and up. You'll love the security of double lines and a new braking system to make riding smoother. The towers are named after the islands in the Marianas. We call it the Island Hopper. Your guides will teach you what you need to know to soar through the jungle with a bird's eye view. Best of all, for residents of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, you can book this experience at 20% savings. Log on to GuamAdventures.com and during checkout, use offer code HAFA20. Book it and zip it today. We'll even pick you up. Good day to be a bird. High today 85, low 79, heat index 95, 89% humidity. Tomorrow partly cloudy, isolated showers, east winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, high 89, low 39, seas 4 to 6 feet, sunrise 11 past 6, high tide 8:35 in the morning, followed by a low tide at 2:31 in the afternoon, sunset at 5:49.
All right, thank you, Bob, for that weather report.
You're most welcome. I like to have weather reports like that. It just gives me great joy.
Good, so every day brings you joy. Well,
when we have weather reports like that.
Almost every day. All right, well, and thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night at 6.
Good night.